This is the Best or Worst Podcast. And now, here are your hosts, Koji Stephen Sakai and M. Martin Mapoma.
All right, welcome to the Best or Worst Podcast. My name is Martin.
And I'm Koji.
And this is episode number 34. I cannot believe we've done 34 episodes.
I know.
Anyways, that being said, we are here with Koji's amazing friend from Australia. And Koji, I'll let you do the honors.
And actually, this is we're really honored, not just because Lark's on the show with us, but also this is our first guest from outside this country, outside of America. So
that's true.
It's really exciting.
Right.
So I'm really excited about that. We've had people not from America, but this is the first time it's somebody outside of America. So Lark Lee, she's a writer, director, editor, actress, and go-getter, according to her Facebook page. I'm not sure what go-getter means, but we're going to have to ask her about that. She's from,
I would assume with all of those things you just ran off that she was a go-getter anyway. That's great.
And she's living in Brisbane right now and originally from Seoul, Korea. So how are you, Lark?
Yeah, I'm great. Thank you for having me.
This is definitely our pleasure.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? I mean, other than what I gleaned off your Facebook.
What you just read?
Yes.
No, I didn't expect you. I thought you came up with the whole thing until you read that go-getter part. Cause yeah. But yeah, so I started the film journey as an actress, and I realized in Brisbane especially, it's not that easy to get jobs as an actress, and I wanted to give myself more opportunity. So I wanted to have concepts that I want to make, small films. And then I realized, maybe I have to write it down to make other people understand what I want. So that's how I started writing. And so now I'm really into making films. So that was years ago. And
so you're more of are you more the director writer now than actor?
Yeah, writer director. Director.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you like? I mean, what do you like? Why do you like directing and writing more than you like acting?
First of all, acting, you always have to be picked, be selected by other people.
Sure.
And I didn't. The people I've seen here in Brisbane, I think it's very different than LA because you have a lot more opportunities there.
Oh, everything is different than LA. LA is you can have because I'm an actor as well. You can have a great career in New York. You can have a great career in Chicago, but everyone will always tell you want to really hit the big time. You got to go to LA. You have to come to LA.
Yes.
Not that Brisbane wouldn't do it for you. I'm just saying.
I think it wouldn't do it for you. But so I found it's really, really hard. And some of the casting directors from other cities like Sydney and Melbourne, they were telling me that the actors in Australia, the well-known actors in Australia, they have to have second job to feed themselves. And that kind of made me think, oh my God, okay, so I cannot, put my what would you say? Put my future career. I want to be in charge. I can't just rely on the luck.
Where's the
job or not.
It's funny that she says that because I remember when I was starting out, one of the things that I always remembered was Jay Leno said that the worst thing an actor can say or a comedian can say is that they make $30,000 at their second job. I remember him saying that. Yeah, but a second job as an actress or an actor, period, is just when you're starting. It's just the way of life. It's you have to have that second job, but
or very rich, but.
Yeah, or you have a sibling or a parent that's in the business. That's all.
But where's the? I mean, excuse my ignorance on Australian filmmaking, or filmmaking industry. But where's the main place? Is that Sydney? Is that going to be Sydney? Where the main?
Yeah, a lot of things happen in Sydney. But we have a roadshow village, the film production here in Gold Coast. So a lot of films come here to shoot. But to be in the game, it's as an actress, as an actor, it's like Sydney or Melbourne is a place you have to go.
Got it.
If I could move, I would have to. But Yeah, I have a daughter here,
Oh.
and I'm a single mom. And,
How old's your daughter?
she's only 8.
Oh, so we have both Martin and I. We have 8-year-olds too.
Yeah, we
Oh,
do.
really? Oh my God! So
I
they're all
do.
same. Awesome.
Cool. That's
That's
cool.
crazy.
Wow. We're parents.
We're
Parents
all
of the world
parents.
unite. Parents of the
Yeah.
world unite.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
the one thing I always ask Asian people in the film industry, especially anybody really in the film industry who's Asian, I always ask them, what did their parents think about them being an actor or a filmmaker? What did your parents think of that?
You know, you could
Oh,
also
my
attribute that to Africans too. We're the same boat.
Oh, really?
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I see, I see.
Oh yeah. They're especially like, you know, go ahead and answer Cody's question. Then I'll, you know, how.
Okay, and then you're gonna end. so, well, yeah, Koji would know it, but like, yeah, well, my parents wanted me to be really good with academic at the school. I wasn't. So, you know, it was a. But I think I kind of was brainwashed that I found I don't have like good degree in, you know, those fields, my life will be failure kind of thing. So so yeah, growing up I entered university to, you know, study this is a long story too. So I started my university as a mechanical engineer.
That's a good That's a good Asian thing to get it started in.
Yeah, and and then, you know, but like I entered the university just because without knowing what I actually want to do. I just entered it because, you know, that's what they want you to do. And when I was a freshman, I realized that was something I would not enjoy. It was all about mathematics and physics, and yeah, that's not what I was thinking. I thought, you know, I could be able to make machines with my hands and stuff. I was wrong. And then so I changed to yeah, and then I wanted to be a dancer too back then. I did a lot of dancing.
You did.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, cool. What kind of dance?
Sorry?
What kind of dance?
What kind of dance? Hip hop and popping.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, was this here in Australia or back in Korea?
In Korea.
Because in Korea, man, because I love hip hop and b-boys and that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
Korea is like the place for hip hop. You know, for b-boy dancing.
Yeah. Oh. Wow.
Oh yeah, it's so funny. If I'm up at night, I'll watch countless hours of Korean b-boys and, you know, just b-boys in general. But
Yeah.
most of them.
Oh, b-boys, yeah, they're huge, right?
They're huge. It's really huge.
Wait. Let me just make sure I'm hearing this straight. So you like to watch young men dance on your computer?
Yeah, as
I think that's what
Yeah.
Martin likes.
That's what Martin just said. Okay, I'm just making sure that I heard that correctly.
always make it so goddamn creepy, man. Because I used to break dance a long time ago when I was young. You know, 15, 16 years old.
see.
Yeah, so that was I've always liked it. You know, I've always admired and envied those guys because the best thing that I could ever do was I could spin on one hand, but like doing a windmill.
You could?
Can you do it right now? Can you do one right now?
If I tried to balance one hand spin with my weight, it would snap me in the elbow. No, I wouldn't even try.
You might have to go to the hospital.
We'll go viral.
Yeah, I would. For my idiocy, I'd be a legend. You know? Yeah, no.
TikTok.
TikTok.
Exactly. Yeah. Watch fat African break his elbow trying to bebop, you know?
Okay.
So, no, that's
sorry.
cool.
But getting back to your story, so you wanted to be so you went from mechanical engineering to wanting to be a dancer.
Yeah.
And then
this was a long time ago, really, really long time ago, like 20 years ago.
And then you kind of went into acting?
Yeah, so I know I have a long story. Wow, you know what? I never really thought this way, but yeah, it sounds like I had long life. Hey, maybe I did. Yeah, so working in the film was after I came here to Australia. I never had courage to be in front of the camera.
Oh, really? So you started acting when you went to Australia, but
Yes.
not in Korea. Wow, that's interesting. Was there ever kind of I mean, I don't know a lot about Asian Australians, but is there, I mean, in America, being Asian American is usually not a great thing. But
Oh, it's not.
I mean, it's not in terms of the Hollywood industry. It's not necessary. I mean, recently things have changed a lot, but it's gotten a little bit better. But in general, being Asian was usually not a great thing for your career. But in Australia, has it hurt being Asian, or do you feel any kind of difference with that? Or
Same. So it's not there are not that many works to have if you're an actress, but
Yeah.
but they're starting to open it here too.
Okay.
And yeah, it's more like Asian. You have to be, it has to be an Asian role to play that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a shame. But it's yeah, it's tough. Have you ever thought about trying to act in Korea?
Sorry. No, I did not try acting in Korea.
Because that's being locked up. We've been my wife and I've been watching a lot of
Korean dramas.
Oh yeah, and I got to tell you, for someone who had never experienced it, it's been pretty amazing. We watched 2 shows in the middle of watching. Actually, we watched 1 show completely, and we're in the middle of watching 2 more. And I have to tell you, it's some of the best stuff I've seen on TV in a long time.
Yeah,
I'm watching a show called King, Eternal Monarch on Netflix, and then this one called Crash Landed on You. And I got to tell you, they've been amazing. They're really, really good. So
I haven't watched both of them, but
no, they're good.
They're good.
We watched another one called Chocolat or Chocolate.
Chocolate. Okay.
Yeah, which is really good too. But anyway, that's cool. So what was it? What was it when you got to Australia that made you realize you really wanted to be an actress?
I just gave it a go.
Yeah.
I wanted to act when I was young. I wanted to be an actress all the time, but growing up, I was I thought I had to study.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
cool.
I was not as good looking to be on TV. That's what I was told. So yeah.
Who told you that? Jesus.
Oh my God. Do you have siblings?
Who?
My sister.
Asians are tough.
Yes,
they are. They're very tough, man. Yeah.
Hey, Koji, I'm married to one. I know that. You don't have to tell me that. So, and she's a wonderful woman. I love her very much.
I mean, my mom calls me fat. She called me fat constantly since I was a kid. Yeah. I was like on a triathlon teams, and I'd be like, I'm like the best shape of my life, and she'd be like, "You look fat." I'm like, "Fuck." I'm like, I thought I looked good, but now I'm like, yeah. It's like
they're very harsh, yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't you? You're the son, though. Aren't the boys treated like golden childs?
No.
Golden children?
Not necessarily. I mean, it's the same.
Oh, are you the only kid?
No. I have a sibling, but yeah, don't get me started on my brother.
I have a sibling. I'm so psyched.
I have a sibling.
I have 2.
Do you get along with them?
I was in the middle one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the toughest one, I think. I
Yeah.
don't know, the worst one or the best one, I think.
Boys or girls? Are they your brothers?
Both of them girls.
Oh wow! So 3 sisters, 3 girls in the family.
Did they all stay in Korea, or did they move?
They're in Korea. Yeah, they're all in Korea. So now our relationship is better.
Because far away.
That we are far away from each other.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the best things I ever did in my life was for a long time I was trying to make things work between me and my brother, because I thought like we're brothers and we should like be like friends. So I'd go over and I just like one of the best things I ever realized was like, I don't need to be friends with this dude. He's like, I mean, Martin knows, but we're not like, he's like mentally unstable. He's just not a good person. And so it's like, it really helps me like realizing I'm like, fuck this dude. Like he doesn't need to be my friend. He doesn't need to be my family. Like he's not my mom or he's not my dad, like he's not my wife. I didn't choose. He's not my kid.
Well, you know what they say though, never put up with things from family that you would never put up with from strangers.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
Yeah, for sure. But okay, I think we're at that time of the
we
show.
are. I was just gonna say, yes, we are.
So Martin, what do you want to hear? Do you want to hear the best or the worst from our guest here?
No, I want to hear you decide so I can counter, maybe.
What? Okay. Wow, this is different. Usually you're the one that decides and I decide to counter. Okay. Well, I'm going back and forth on this one. I'm
Okay.
So
what if I just tell you the worst one?
Oh, no.
You don't get to choose.
Worst one is better story.
Now I want to hear the best.
No, I want to
hear the best.
What do you think? You cut out, Koji. What'd you say? Koji, you can't hear you. Can you hear him?
No, I can't.
Koji, we can't hear you.
I think he muted himself.
Accidentally.
Yeah. But Martin, I think you and I have lots in common.
Yeah, I think we do too.
Sorry about that.
Too.
Yeah. That was just my excitement hit the pause button.
Okay.
But I want to hear the worst because she said she had a better worst story, and I usually go with that story. So.
Okay. Great. Good choice.
Wait,
Great
Martin.
choice.
What are you agree, Martin? Or come on, just agree.
I don't know. She seems so jovial. I don't know. Look at that smile. Okay, fine. Let's do the worst.
So,
yeah, fine.
Mark, what is your worst moment or day of your life?
This was 25th of May, 2019.
Oh wow.
So that was 1 year ago from your time. It's 26 today here in Australia. So that morning there was a film event that I was planning to attend in the morning, and so I was pulling out my car. So where I live is pretty quiet. It has a small street in front of my house. Is like small street, and usually there's nothing, no cars on my street because it's not a drive past street. You know, it's more only residents, and usually there's nothing. So I was driving backward, reversing my car, and trying to think, where I'm going and what am I going to do when I get to the event. And then my car hit something. And then I was in my head, I was like, please, a tree, please, a tree, please, a tree. And then I parked my car in front. I opened the car. I got out. Oh my God, it was a car. I hit a car. My neighbor parked his car on the street. I'm like, he never does that. Like, why he leave the car there right then? There was no one.
Can I interrupt real quick? I thought you were going to say a person, so I'm glad it wasn't a person. I was going to say that.
Okay, thank you. That could have been worse.
I thought she was going to say a child.
Or a kid,
oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that would have been even worse than this. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Now I feel better. Now I feel really good.
But sorry, keep going on. Sorry, I interrupted you.
That's okay. So there was no one, nobody saw this. But, I thought, I can't just walk away from this. So I knocked on his door and I called him out and I showed him his car, what happened. And I told him I did that. And it was like small dent in his, right side. Oh, so the right side is the driver's seat in Australia. So right side door, the dent, and we both thought it wouldn't cost much. So he said he's gonna, check on the, take it to the mechanic, and then, get a quote. It might not even, it might not be even more expensive than the excess fee for the insurance. So we both agreed, let's see how much that would charge. And yeah, he got back to me that afternoon. Oh no, not that afternoon. I don't know, like next day, I think he got back to me saying, this is gonna be expensive. This is gonna be costing a lot. And so he was asking me if I have an insurance. And I do. I always have insurance with me. I never go out on drive without insurance because I'm too scared to if anything happens. So I checked. I was trying to check how much is my excess fee. So I logged onto my account and then I realized my account was canceled. Yeah, my insurance account is canceled. So I was like, why? So I rang the insurance company, and then they were telling me I was not paying. but my payment was supposed to be automatically, deducting, from their end. So I'm like, well, I never really received any notification, and what is happening? And then they told me they notified me a few times, twice. So they sent me a PDF file of January letter saying that they failed to take the money out, and then February letter saying if I don't so January, if I don't pay money, they're going to cancel my account, and February they canceled my account, but I never received those. So but then I thought they sent that one to my email, and I thought maybe they sent those to my post, because I haven't seen them on my email, and I was checking on all my email, and they were not there. And I thought this was really unfair because I don't remember reading any of this. So so this point I was like dumbfounded, like what am I supposed to do? And I contacted this like government helping law service place, and yeah, one lady like read all the policy, and she saw that if I'm supposed to either email or mail to be notified from them. So if I've been notified by email for all the other stuff, then I'm supposed to get those notifications on my email as well. So she helped me writing a letter, that's what it is, and then I haven't received any of those on my email, so please cover this, and I can pay the rest of the fee that I owe you guys. And I sent that one, and they were ignored. They were not replying to this one for months. And meanwhile, the insurance company from my neighbors, they kept ringing me, telling me to pay the money. And then, because, I felt really unfair to pay the whole fee. So,
Can I
from then on,
Can I ask
yes.
a quick question? How much are we talking about? How much was
It was $2,000.
Okay. Australian
Yes,
dollars.
it was not huge. But
Okay.
yeah, but I still felt it was unfair. Because I've been
No, I was gonna say, Lark, what kind of car? What brand of car was it? What model?
of
Yeah,
his car was Holden. Do you know Holden?
Holden. No,
No, okay,
Holden.
so it's an Australian car, so Holden
Australian
Commodore.
car.
Yeah,
Okay. Is it similar to like a? Is it similar to like a? I don't know, BMW, a Honda.
no, this is a cheap one. Probably
2000,
like
and it was $2,000 with the door.
also like so. It was most of it was a labor fee. They
No,
have
I get
to,
it. I get it. I get it.
yeah, they have to disconnect everything, and then put everything, and then paint it. He wanted it perfect, and I thought he could probably buy the same car with that price. But yeah, so they kept ringing me, and I was trying to and I was waiting for my insurance company to reply to me, and I feel unfair. I don't want to do it. I don't want to pay for this. Now I sound like a bad guy, don't I?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Oh, thank you. But I'll be happy to pay for the what I was supposed to pay if I was covered. So and then and then from then on, every time I see the private number phone call coming on my phone, I stopped not answering. And then it went on for months, and I felt like I was chased by debt collectors. But they were, yeah, they were.
Which you were, yeah, they were debt collectors. So,
Yeah.
so did your insurance ever get back to you? Did they ever get back to you about this?
So it has been months, and then after I've been like avoiding all those phone calls, and then I got a text message saying it was not an insurance company this time. It was some different like recovery debt kind of, different company name saying, you owe this much to our clients, so you have to, make payment. And yeah, still like I was really stressed with all these, contacts from them. And then one day about a couple of weeks ago, they emailed me. And this moment I was like, oh my God, okay, that's enough. I can't be chased by debt collectors, and every time I see the private number coming, my heart pounds. I was like, okay, let me just pay and then, be debt free. So I decided to, okay, well, let me just pay. Then I was about to click and pay stuff. And just then I was like, hold on. But if I'm going to pay, well, let me just give one more go. And then I rang my insurance company. The ones did not reply. So it has been like months, long time ago when I emailed them. And then I told them the whole story, what happened. And then this guy referred me to someone else. And then I explained, and then this lady was insisting they sent me those letters to my email. But I never received them. I've never seen them. So I was telling them, it must be your computer system error because I never received them. And they kept insisting, well, we sent you, so it's not our fault, it's your fault. And one lady was telling me it's my bank's fault because my bank was not informing me that the money transfer did not, they tried to take the money out from my bank. And also she was telling me, so one time, there was a December, I got a notification saying, they could not take the money out. So they told me to make payments. And I did it like straight away. And she was telling me on the phone, I did not do that time. So I was going through all my bank details, trying to see if but then where did I pay this money? Because I thought I paid to them. And she was telling me I must pay to someone else. It's not them. So I asked her, okay, then when was the last time I made payment to you guys? And she replied me saying, well, I cannot access to your payment details on my computer. So she had no idea when I paid or if I made a payment or not. But she was telling me I didn't make payment.
Oh wow, sounds really.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm like, are you serious? And then she asked me if I want her to refer me to someone else who can check my payment details. So I said yes. And then that lady told me I made a payment that day. And then but she said from her end, they have sent it says they're recorded, they sent me the emails of those notifications. So she can't do anything. They're not going to cover it. But she told me, to send an email to the policy department. So I did. I sent him an email, the police department, explaining everything. And then and they got back to me a few days later saying that, well, they have sent me the letters, this date, this date, this date. So they're not going to cover it. And this moment, I was upset. I was like, and then I wrote a review on the page that that anybody can search. And then I didn't like say anything. I did not make up anything. I just wrote down what exactly happened. And then also my friends were telling me to use to make a complaint on ombudsman. Do you you have ombudsman? Okay, so you know what it is. Okay, great.
We have one of those. I don't know what that is.
Ombudsman. Oh, so it's the company that receives complaints for other companies, and then they try to help both sides.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah. So so I did that too. And then like the next day, I got a phone call from this company, my insurance company. Yeah, saying that he read the review and that they understand what happened, and then they asked me how much the fee was to cover the accident. And yeah, now they decided to cover me.
Wow.
What was up with
Yeah.
that?
Oh, there you go. We can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, after I tried to do it, like without making it public. I was trying to solve it inside with them.
Yeah, once you go public, they really back off fast. Especially if you have a sound case, they get real nervous because no insurance company. Because most people think that insurance companies are a scam anyway. The last thing they want to do is have a disgruntled client who then gets more support from other people who are like, hey, that happened to me too. That never looks good for that insurance company. They can't afford to have that happen. So yeah.
So
So how can I just ask you a quick question? What was the time frame in this whole thing, from the point that you hit that car to actually being reimbursed the money? What was that time frame? Was that 2 months?
Oh my God, 1 year. It's still on it's still going. It's still going.
That is the longest worst day ever. I think that's the record, Koji.
1 whole year. Yeah. Oh my God, seriously. Every time I get the private number phone call, I'm like, don't answer it.
Yeah. That's funny because I have the same private number. When I get a private number, it's my brother trying to call me and yell at me about something.
Oh.
Although this is
you avoid the phone calls.
We could do a show just on that alone, Koji.
Yeah, because he'll call me like 50 times. But anyway, what did you learn from this experience? I mean, is there something like after all this time and all this fighting and everything, what have you learned? What did you take away from it?
I had to be firm. Because the first time when I rang them, they told me they sent me, they notified me, and I thought I made an error. And the second time when this lady was telling me I did not make payment, I thought I made an error again until and then I was, I was trying to find the error I made. And if I gave up on that time, this might not have happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and that's weird.
Luckily,
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, luckily I asked her. Then when was it my last time payment? Then I realized, she's she doesn't even know my payments details.
Yeah, it's also weird because I mean, it's something similar happened to me, but then, I mean, I got a text, I got an email, I got a physical letter. I mean, I was getting I got 3 texts from my insurance company telling me that I changed bank accounts or something and it didn't, or I changed my number, and I remember getting all these things. So yeah, I find it weird that they didn't do more. They usually do more to get your money than less to get your money, right?
Yeah.
That's odd.
Yeah, very true.
And you have insurance now, right? Everything's good with your insurance now?
So yes. So another funny thing. Okay, so before I hang up that phone call, with the last lady before she told me, after she told me to contact the claim, the policy department, she asked me, okay, so do you need to insure your car again? As if I would insured by them again.
You know,
You know?
That was
Yeah.
that was gonna be my follow-up question, whether you're still with that insurance company, but I guess.
Oh, no way, no way. Yeah, so the like few days after I learned that my policy was canceled from that company, I signed up with someone else straight away.
wow.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy also. One of the cultural things that I thought was interesting about your story was that you talk about you went to your government, and they like read your contract. I think if I tried to go to somebody in the government here in America, they'd be like, "Fuck you, get out of my face."
Oh, really?
Like, I don't like, what are you taking this document to me for? Like, that's your problem, not mine.
Oh, wow. Well,
I think it's awesome that you're that people within your government are willing to help you and try to.
oh, they're amazing here in Australia.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can I share one Australian story with you real quick? Like, that shows you how
Yeah.
great. I remember I got in this. I got hurt doing this rock climbing thing. The last time I was in Australia,
Koji.
and I was like, I was really hurt. I mean, I wasn't like dying or something, but I was pretty hurt. And the whole time I was in I got an ambulance. Everything was coming, right? And I got to the ambulance, and like the whole time in the ambulance, I'm like, hey, I need to go back to my hotel room. I need to go back to I need to get my passport and my credit card. And they're like, you're too hurt to go back to the hotel room. I was like, no, I need to go because in America, if you don't have a credit card or you can't show that you have proof of insurance, they're gonna take you to the fucking worst.
Oh, they don't take you?
No, they're gonna take you, but they're gonna take you to the worst places.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
Oh, yeah.
so the Australian driver's like, where are you from? I'm like, I'm from America. They're like, oh, it's free. And I'm like, oh, great. Never mind. Let's go. And I was like, because yeah, seriously, in America, if I can't show proof that I have any kind of insurance, they're not going to, A, they might not take me to a good place. B,
No.
they're going to take me to like, and they might take me somewhere far away from where I'm at. Like if I'm hurt, like here, they might not take me to the nearest hospital because that hospital might not take me.
Take you to Huntington.
Huntington definitely wouldn't take me, but you know, like, so that was really funny. I remember just thinking like, that's so pathetic. Like, when I've hurt, the only thing I could think about was how am I going to pay for this thing?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's a running theme with a lot of people. You know, I have a lot of friends I've had, old friends of mine who are from Poland, and they need major surgery. And they're like, you know what, I'm just going to go home. They go home for 2 months, get the surgery, and come back, having not paid for nothing there. Yeah, and you can't afford to do it here.
Yeah, it's
so funny.
It's
really sad.
It's really good here in Australia.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Yeah, they don't charge for Western people, the foreigners.
Well, I had to pay. No, I had to pay, but it wasn't
next to nothing though.
But
right?
not as much as I would have to pay in America.
Oh, okay.
And also, I didn't have to show it in the beginning of it.
Yeah, you can get hurt here in LA, in California, and take an ambulance ride to the ER, get treatment, and then go broke the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, literally.
Either fix you or.
No. Oh no, they'll fix you, but they'll also make sure that
next year you pay.
Yeah, $30,000 for an ambulance ride just for the.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
$30,000 for an ambulance?
$30,000.
Are you serious?
Yeah, easily.
It's free here. I mean, I'm sure the government's paying. It's from all the tax everyone paying to the government, and they're paying.
Yeah.
But
it's one of the reasons why there are so many private ambulance companies in California. That's one of the reasons why. It's not because people care about, they want to help. They know how to make money.
Yeah, it's a scam.
It is.
Well, Lark, tell us how can people follow you? What you're working on? How can people know? How can people see what your next projects are?
How can they find you, Lark?
Yes, find me on Facebook, please. So Lark Lee.
LARK.
I think filmmaker Lark Lee. Oh no, sorry, Lark Lee Films.
Okay.
Sorry.
Are you sure?
Lark Lee, so LARKLEE, and Films, FILMS.
Is that all one word? Lark Lee Films?
No.
Okay.
I'll put a link in the notes. So don't worry.
You go.
I'll put a link in the notes so people can follow you. I'm a big, as you know, I should have mentioned this earlier. I'm a big fan of your work. I love your work.
Thank you so much.
I would love to work with you in the future. And also, I just want to mention that I love Asian Australian accents. I think they're the best accent because it's awesome accent. Unlike Americans or my LA accent, it's not awesome.
I'm sorry if he's being
It's
creepy.
awesome.
I apologize.
What?
What?
You find it creepy, did you say?
Now I'm messing with him now. I was like, you know, the Australian.
Well, it's like the English. It's like the English. It's kind of like Hong Kong. I like Hong Kong.
I get it. I get it.
Like
I
the Hong Kong English accent's awesome too. But also because I'm having an LA accent, so every other word is like and cool and and
you still do that too, like this, like that.
I've always. I mean, it's embarrassing when I hear myself talk. Sometimes I'm just like,
Yeah.
I sound like a illiterate
A surfer.
Yeah, like a surfer dude.
So, Lark, do you have a daughter or a son? You're not
I have
saying
a daughter.
You have a what?
Daughter.
You have a daughter? Okay.
Daughter, yeah.
Daughter.
So, yeah, if you check on my Instagram, yeah, I have I upload my daughter's picture as well.
What's your
Yeah,
Instagram so people can know?
Yeah, Instagram is more like work and private life.
But what is your Instagram?
Instagram is filmmaker Lark Lee.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's one word, filmmaker Lark.
And I'll also do. I think we're friends on Instagram. But if not, I'll find you.
Really?
I'll make sure.
Yeah, let's be friends.
Yes,
You know?
yes. Everybody, let's be friends with everybody so that we
Yes.
all know what the
There you
work
go.
that we're gonna do.
Exactly.
But definitely.
Oh, can I advertise one?
Yes,
Just
definitely.
Page. You know,
Yes.
Page is a web series. It used to be on Koji's stream platform, but now it's on Facebook and YouTube. So if you can find Page, type comedy series, and you'll be able to see it on Facebook.
What is it about?
It's about this Asian mid-30 lady.
You?
She
Is it you? It's you.
Yeah, it's like Page.
Okay.
Yeah, who seems like dating is really hard for her, and yeah, she's super insecure, and check
And
her. It's
I love Paige. Definitely, I'll make sure to put that in the notes as well because I do love that series, and I didn't realize it was on Facebook, so I'll put it up. I'll put the Facebook and the YouTube link.
The series is on Facebook?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on Facebook. Yeah, so I uploaded not long ago.
It's
So,
Paige?
yeah.
Paige or Page?
PAIG.
Okay.
Correct. Yes.
Great.
like
Well,
a name, yeah.
Thank you so much for
Yeah.
coming on. Actually, Martin. Oh, sorry, Martin's the host of this episode. So, Martin, you do the.
Thank you, Martin.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much, Lark, for coming on. It's been a pleasure having you
Thank
and
you.
listening to your great story. Very interesting, Please, guys, this was Lark Lee.
What is this?
Is this unusual?
I've ever heard. All right. Sorry. Go ahead.
I just had a complete brain fart.
I know.
Lark,
Wait, hold on. Do
Well-
you guys edit this?
Yes.
A
No.
little
Oh, okay, great.
No, I had some.
Koji likes to highlight my misgivings on here.
I love. No. Well, it's okay
please
because
enjoy it.
Lark. Let me just explain. We have a senior
Uh-huh.
citizen who's about 85, so we have to be a little bit. We have to, make sure that we're not speaking too fast or
Okay.
expect too much of our seniors. Right?
Oh, okay.
They don't like to be called elderly anymore.
Did
But
you say, hold on, did you say 85?
Oh.
Age 85, most people are 85.
no, he's 85.
Oh, he's Martin is 85.
It's the African skin. It looks beautiful. So, he looks great for 85.
No
doesn't
way,
he?
no, he's not 85. He's not 85. He's not 85.
That would be pimp if you had an 8-year-old and you're 85 years old.
Oh, yeah. But he's doing well then.
Yeah, he's doing really well.
I've been running around with oxygen every time I chase my son.
Sorry. End the show.
Lark, it's been a pleasure having you on.
Thank you.
We'll make sure to give you a big old shout out. Thank you so much. Thank you for your great story. Koji, a great find. Look forward to seeing you on film, seeing your films. And all right, to everybody else, this is the Best or Worst podcast. Please like us, follow us, submit a review, a question if you want to be on the show. Let us know. Best or Worst podcast is Spotify, iTunes. Cody, tell me some more.
Google Podcast.
Cooler podcast.
Tune in. Pandora. All the big ones. But the most important place to write a review is Apple Podcasts. That's the place where we get the most, or that's the place that is the most important place for a podcast.
And make sure you give all of us senior citizens a big shout out there.
Yes.
80 plus years.
Yes. And if anybody feels bad for the way I treat Martin, please let us know, and I'll try to be nice next time.
They do, man. I've seen those comments like, man, leave the old guy alone. I'm like, that's really not helping.
Okay.
Well, thank you
I love
guys.
this energy you guys, bounce off, and it's cute.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah, you guys are cute.
Oh, all right. Well,
Oh.
Lark, that is going to come back to bite me. I can tell you right now. He's already working on a retort to that one.
no. Well, thank you guys so much, and thank you for everyone for listening. And it's once again, it's Best or Worst Pod on Instagram and Facebook. Let us know. Bye, guys. It's good.
Bye.
Bye-bye.